The Maratha entry is breathtaking. The ground literally trembles before you see them. The way the dust rises, orange flag emerge before we even see Marathas, and the chaos begin. However, the introduction of Sambhaji Maharaj himself feels underwhelming. A grand warrior like him deserves a more commanding reveal instead of a standard slow motion entry. The impact could have been heightened through suspense. Imagine building tension through the fear in his enemy's eye before his first appearance. A moment of silence before the battle erupts could have amplified his presence, making the audience feel his power before even seeing him. Another area that feels slightly uneven is the editing. The pacing feels inconsistent with some abrupt cuts that break the emotional engagement. The romantic moments, for instance, feel sudden and not organically integrated into the narrative. More seamless transition between high intensity action and personal moments would have enriched the storytelling. There is no denying that Chhawa looks visually good. The production design, costumes, and set pieces are mostly on point. But do all visual choices effectively serve the story? What works? Practical lighting enhances authenticity with torches and fire, creating an immersive period atmosphere at night. Both the Mughals and Marathas are treated very well. The contrast between them is striking: cold, dark tones for the Mughal versus the warm golden hues for the Marathas, subtly reinforcing their ideological divide. Mughals are usually put in darker tones with cool, dim lighting, which adds to their ominous presence. The battle sequences feel massive, with dust filled air, strategic formation, and the energy of thousands of soldiers adding to the chaotic scale of war. But what doesn't work? Some sequences feel overly stylized. Instead of creative lighting techniques, a few scenes rely heavily on excessive practical lights in the background, making them look artificial. Too much slow motion, not always, but in some places it feels unnecessary. A sharper, more raw approach to action would have made it hit harder. One of the most impressive cinematographic choices, however, is how the film visually tracks the shifting power dynamics. As the Mughals move west, the dry deserts give a way to the dense forest of the Western Ghats. The shift in scenery subtly shows that they are now in unfamiliar, hostile Maratha territory, which is good storytelling. The film highlights how Sambhaji Maharaj was known for introducing new battle tactics, and it effectively showcases this. Different terrains call for different strategies, weapons, and even costumes, making each battle feel unique and well thought out. But beyond just action, the film also depicts the internal conflicts within the Maratha Empire and the political tension. Betrayals, differing visions for the Swaraj shows the complexity, emphasizing that not all battles were fought on battlefield. The depiction of violence also stands out. Rather than relying on excessive bright red blood, the film opts for darker blood tones, making the brutality gritty yet not overly graphic. Vicky Kaushal as Sambhaji Maharaj is intense, and his physicality in battle sequence is commendable. His 1v8 clutch, absolute madness. But while his physical performance is spot on, his Marathi accent is inconsistent. There are moments he nails it, but then there are moments where it slips. Given that Sambhaji Maharaj's dialect must have been legendary, this inconsistency stands out. The young actor playing Sambhaji in flashbacks delivers a more convincing Marathi accent than Vicky himself. Akshay Khanna as Aurangzeb is one of the film's strongest elements. He doesn't resort to overacting, instead, his calm, calculating demeanor makes him truly cynical. His dialogue delivery is deliberate, emphasizing his control over every situation. Also, his gradual physical transformation over time reflects his declining control over Hindustan, a subtle yet effective narrative touch. Divya Datta as Soira Bai brings depth to her role. Though the script sidelines her, her political motivation remain somewhat underexplored. Given her historical significance, a deeper dive into her power struggles would have made her arc far more compelling. Rashmika as Yasubai gives an earnest performance, but her Marathi accent feels unnatural. This is not her fault, but a casting decision that prioritized commercial appeal over authenticity. While she brings grace to the role, the lack of chemistry between her and Vicky Kaushal weakens the emotional weight of their relationship. Their romance feel more like a subplot rather than integral part of the story. On the other hand, the supporting cast is exceptional. Unlike many large-scale historical films where extras often feel out of sync, here the background actors add authenticity to the world. Every minor character feels lived in, contributing to the film's overall immersion. When you hear A.R. Rahman is doing music for a historical epic, the expectations skyrocket. But to be fair, there are moments where the background score absolutely delivers. The Tutari, for example, the unmistakable war trumpet, hits all the right places, sending chills down the spine. The battle sequences have a rhythmic intensity to them. But here's the problem, this is an epic film, and the music never quite reaches that epic level. It's not that the background score is bad, it's good, even great at some part. But this is a film about Sambhaji Maharaj, a warrior whose life was nothing short of legendary. The score needed to shake the theatre, make your heart pound, and leave you breathless. And that's where it falls short. And maybe that wouldn't be noticeable if we didn't already have that film score. It felt massive and unforgettable. The kind of music where even years later you remember every note. I feel there are scenes that could have used a more haunting, lingering melody, something that drags you deeper into the weight of history. And I felt whenever A.R. Rahman did well, the filming didn't quite do justice to his work. For instance, the song Tufan is good but could have visualized in a way better way. So while the music work, it doesn't elevate the film the way an epic score should. In a movie like this, that's just not a minor flaw, it's a missed opportunity. A Sambhaji Maharaj film deserves a soundtrack that stays long after you have walked out of theatre. Unfortunately, Chhawa doesn't quite get there. If there's one thing Chhawa absolutely gets right, it's the spirit of Marathas. This film is not about war, it's about a legacy, a belief system, the undying fire of Swaraj. More than the battles, more than the politics, the core of the film lies in what the Marathas stood for. It's not about one king, it's about people who believed in being their own rulers, about a system where every man had a pride of king. The film picks up towards the end where the betrayals hit harder, the emotional weight deepens, and the pain becomes more personal. The film had all the elements to be one of the greatest historical epics, yet it slightly misses that mark. Despite its strength in storytelling, visuals, and performances, certain choices in execution prevent it from reaching the full potential. However, its impact remains undeniable, and its tribute to the Maratha spirit is commendable. That's it from me. Thank you for watching.